Today is the 5th of February 2020, and that means on this day 30 years ago Depeche Mode released Enjoy the Silence. Let's talk about that. Hi guys, and welcome once again to Piano and Keyboard Artists, where we discuss the artists related to pianos, keyboards and synthesizers. And this morning I got notification from a few of you and emails and on social media reminding me that today is Depeche Mode's 30-year anniversary for Enjoy the Silence, and I had to go and fact check that because I couldn't believe it was 30 years ago, and it was 30 years ago. It was released on the 5th of February 1990. So that's made me feel both quite emotional and quite old at the same time. I mean, 30 years ago, I mean, God. And you guys that are regular subscribers to my channel will know I've talked about how Enjoy the Silence was the first song I heard from Depeche Mode. I had always known about Depeche Mode before that, but it was when I heard Enjoy the Silence for the first time. It was the song that ignited everything in me and led me to Depeche Mode, which led me to, wanting to become a producer and led me to where I am now. So Enjoy the Silence will always be an incredibly pivotal song, and a very important song, not only to Depeche Mode, but to me, and I'm sure to you as a fan. And if you're new to the channel, I won't go into too much detail, but it must have been 1990 when I bought this compilation album. It was like a compilation album, not like these now. That's what I call music, with different artists. And it was a mishmash of songs. I think it had the Lightning Seeds, it had Kylie Minogue, it had Jason Donovan, and Roxette was on there as well. And I never forget when on this vinyl, there was side one. I remember that the song starting off with the Lightning Seeds. Dot, 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 pure and simple every time. And I never forget the last song on that first side was Tears on My Pillow by Kylie Minogue. And then I never forget flipping the vinyl over. Side 2, first track, putting the needle down. And I heard the chords to Enjoy the Silence. And it was like, oh my God, the lights went on. I was like, what is that? And that really, as I say, was the defining moment for me as a Depeche Mode fan and led me to pursue a career in music. And so Enjoy the Silence is an incredibly important song to me. Now, this video is not, I'm not going to sort of run through the song and analyze it in detail. That will come later on. As you guys know, I'm in the middle of my Depeche Mode album review series. We've just finished Black Celebration. We're just about to start Music for the Masses, and speaking of coincidence, I was actually just chatting to Dave Bascombe, the producer of Music for the Masses. I was chatting to him on email yesterday and today. We're busy organizing a date when I can, because I'm going to go down and interview him, because there's not enough information about Dave Bascombe, to satisfy the needs of us hardcore Depeche Mode fans. So that is coming soon on the Music for the Masses album review series. And as I say, I'm really trying to up the ante and make these album reviews even better and better. But anyway, back to Enjoy the Silence. So eventually when I get to the Violator album review series, which will probably be like 100 parts, because I want to go into so much detail. I think in that series, as you know, in the album review series, as I covered in as much detail as I can, and we strip down the songs. So I will strip down Enjoy the Silence and all the other songs in the Violator album review series. But as I say, I just really want to talk about, Enjoy the Silence today. Some of my memories and feelings of it. As I say, it was the song that really ignited my enthusiasm in Depeche Mode. And after hearing Enjoy the Silence, I very shortly, I then went, it got me onto 101, and then I bought Violator, and then listening to 101 was really like the album because 101 was really like Depeche Mode's greatest hits, in a live format, and that's really what got me into Depeche Mode in a big way. And then after that, I went on and bought all the sort of individual albums. So yeah, but it all started from Enjoy the Silence, and as I say, I'm not going to run through it in detail, but just to sort of illustrate the beauty of Enjoy the Silence. There is so much to it, and you know, as we'll talk on the album review series when we get to Violator, we all know the story how, you know, Enjoy the Silence started off as a ballad when Martin brought the demo into the studio. Mark Ellis, the producer, aka Flood, talks about how the demo was kind of performed on a kind of a very simplistic harmonium kind of sound, and you can find that demo online. In fact, I will put the demo in the link in the description below for you to listen to. And it was very interesting because it was Alan Wilder who, after listening to the demo, said, I think we should add a disco beat to this and, you know, pick the tempo up. To which Martin was like, Martin wasn't happy, because Martin was thinking, hang on now, no, this is a ballad, can't be. My Martin Gore laugh. But you can imagine, and this is where Alan Wilder, and we'll come back to Alan Wilder, we can't stop speaking about Alan Wilder on this channel for obvious reasons, but that just shows if Alan was not in the band, Enjoy the Silence would have sounded a lot different. Now, Enjoy the Silence at its core is a very good song, so I still believe it would have been successful. However, Alan Wilder's brilliant idea to sort of turn this sort of downbeat ballad, which as it was presented in its demo, and to turn it into an upbeat kind of disco track. I think the BPM's about 113. So it's not very fast, but it has a groove to it, and that, of course, using the ARP 2600 to do the bum 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 bum. That was an ingenious idea, and Enjoy the Silence did really bring a lot of people onto the Depeche Mode fan base, because remember, Depeche Mode, as we always say, was a very underground, off-the-wall type of sound. You know, people who don't like them always call them Depressed Mode, and they don't like them. However, Enjoy the Silence was a very sort of, it did sort of break through the commercial market. I forget the chart position. I think it did get to the top 10 in the UK charts, and certainly one of their highest chart positions in the UK here. You know, it was popular all over the world, especially in Europe and, you know, even in America. And it was Enjoy the Silence that really, it has a very sort of universally pleasing sound. And although it is dark, it is not as dark as, you know, typical Depeche Mode songs, but it does have this feeling of, you know, melancholy and sort of a yearning running through it, and which is just the imprint. That is the imprint of Martin Gore's soul, just that deeply emotional feel, you know, and which we can't escape. But Enjoy the Silence really was taking a Depeche Mode song and packaging it and presenting it in a way that, you know, was almost had mass appeal, and it did have a lot of commercial success, and definitely did bring a lot of people onto Depeche Mode. And once again, as I say, had Alan Wilder not been in the band, Enjoy the Silence would have not sounded the way it did, and it would, I'd probably say, it would probably not be as successful. Remember, the success of a song is always about the song in its core, but then again, the way you present it and the production and the delivery, you know, can be big defining factors in the success of the song, and, you know, whether it's a huge success or just a well-received song. So yeah, Alan Wilder definitely shone on this track. And as I say, we'll talk about that in more detail in the Violator series. But let's just look at some of the melodies of Enjoy the Silence. There are so many melodies to it. Like, as I say, it starts off with it's got that cordial information. And then you've got that little sequence, which is something like... As you guys know, I like to always, when I'm explaining a song, I like to explain it on just a straightforward plain piano sound. And now when we do the album review series, I will sort of address the sounds, and as I say, I have access to some of the original sounds, which I will show you. But when I demonstrate songs, it's always nice to sort of just do it on a straightforward piano sound, because that way you're not distracted by the technology and stuff, and you can kind of hear the song in its vanilla form. So just listening to Enjoy the Silence on the piano, just listen to all the melodic ideas. You've got the... And then you've got Martin, who comes in with the guitar riff. beautifully simple. And then the chords, I'll just play them in block chord form just to show you, just so you can hear the beauty of the simplicity and the effectiveness of these chords. It starts off in the C minor. It's the words like violence, and then break the silence, and then just down, come crashing into my little world. Just those 3 chords, and then once again, painful to me, pierce right through me, can't you understand, oh my little girl. And it just transitions straight to the chorus. All I ever wanted, all I ever needed is here in my arms. And then it repeats again. Words are very unnecessary, they can only do harm. And then to the B, and then back to the... And then by the second time that guitar riff comes in, you're really into it, because it and what's great about the structure of this song, and as Dave Vaughn spoke in a documentary, he said, enjoy the silence, it just flowed. I think the song went really quickly, and there's nothing contrived or difficult about the production. I think the most difficult part they had was, I think Martin went in, I think when he played the guitar riff for the first time, he kind of just put it down in his idea. And then as they built the track, they said, okay, Martin, get back in and play the guitar again. And I think, as legend has it, they struggled to get it to sound as good as he played it the first time. So I believe, and hopefully we can interview Mark Ellis Flood, I believe from what I've heard is that the guitar riff we hear on the actual Enjoy the Silence record was, I believe, one of the first takes that he took. And we always do this as producers. We come up with an idea, and then eventually we build on it, and then we come to the end and we go, I'm going to play that guitar part so much better. And then we listen back to it and we go, oh no, it sounded very good the first time, so overthinking things. But anyway, so very simplistic. And then we get to the second verse, which is vows are spoken to be broken, feelings are intense, words are trivial, just the same 3 chords again. Pleasures remain, so does the pain, words are meaningless and forgettable. Back to the chorus. All I ever wanted, all I ever needed is here in my arms. Again. Words are very unnecessary, they can only do harm. I'm just kind of rushing through it. I don't want the video to be too long, but it probably will be. And then we get to the sort of what we call the mid-eighth, or the bridge, where we repeat the sort of chord, the melody chords, but you've got this sort of brass sound over the top of it. And then Martin comes and does his guitar solo again. Back to the chorus. All I ever wanted, all I ever needed is here in my arms. Again. Words are very unnecessary, they can only do harm. And then of course you get to the choir sound at the end, and I believe this was Martin Gore's voice that was sampled and combined with other sort of voice samples. Not sure about that, but we could discuss that in another video. It's the... beautiful. You've got so many little melodies. As I say, I will run through this in painstaking detail when we do the Violator album review series, but just sort of showing you now, just free flowing, just showing you the melodic ideas. know, the measure of a good song, as I always say, is if it can just be done acoustically on a piano without any effects and, you know, fancy stuff, that is the measure of a good song. And the chords are just beautiful. All I ever wanted, all I ever needed is here in my arms. You just listen to them as chords. As I say, I can get carried away here, but Enjoy the Silence was the song that got me onto Depeche Mode, and I will probably go as far as to say that this is one of the songs that I could say defined my life. I mean, is that dramatic? But you know, if you trace everything back to every decision I've made, you know, that's brought me to the position I am now, can all be traced back to this song. This song got me onto this, led me onto that, and blah 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 blah. I am where I am now. So this is such a big year for Depeche Mode. As I say, 30-year anniversary for Enjoy the Silence. It was their 40-year anniversary now as a band, and they've just been accepted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, the induction into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, which is about time. There is so much more we can talk about Depeche Mode, and we do on this channel, and there are going to be other subjects, but I'm glad to see the community I have here are very happy with the way things are going, and they just want more and more Depeche Mode, and I promise you will get it. Guys, this was just a off-the-cuff video, as you know. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know where you were and your feelings when you first heard Enjoy the Silence. Do you remember where you were, what you were doing? Anything you want to say about this and how it made you feel, and, you know, what do you think of the song, and anything you want to say about this song. Guys, as always, I want to thank you, and I will hope if you're new to the channel, you will hit the subscribe button. And to those of you who have been with me from the start, I'm so grateful to you as always. Have a fabulous week, and I will see you on the next video. All the best.